every day when you're walking down the street.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor.
Rise up, GG Nation, cause it's time for Guidance Guy Friday, your weekly guidance lesson from your internet school counselor. And we're back at school, everybody. It feels like New Year's Day, man. Everyone's excited and ready for the days to come, except for the sad sacks in the corner, but we're gonna just ignore them and their emotional damage.
Emotional damage!
But what are you gonna do when life gets real? When the test you didn't study for is coming up, and you got the big game this weekend, and your best friend is ghosting you? Well, that's what we're here for. Hopefully things are chill right now in your classroom, but when things change, I want to make sure you're ready. And I'm going to use one of the greatest anime out right now as our starting point. Let's go! It's guidance time!
Hey, Midoriya! Pull yourself together, kid. If you really want to get into UA, you might actually have to know something.
Let's start with some vocab words before we get too deep into this. For the next few weeks, I'm going to be talking about resilience, which is the ability to bounce back from tough times. Because like I said, we can't avoid difficulty and challenges in life, and what's important is not letting those challenges become your whole life. And we're going to be learning about some people who had it tough, but instead of quitting, they got tough instead. And we're going to start with my boy Deku from My Hero Academia. And for those of you looking at me like, don't worry, I got you. If you've never watched My Hero, then the best way to describe it is like this. Okay, think Harry Potter, except summon magic with superpowers. In the world of My Hero, 80% of all people have superpowers, or quirks as they're called. Some quirks could be as basic as being invisible, as complex as being able to explosions with your sweat, or as OP as being able to shoot fire and ice. But Deku, the protagonist of the story, has no quirk. He's got nothing.
Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
So, as you might expect, being the one kid in class with no special powers makes Deku the most bullied kid in school, and no one expects anything from him as a result. But that doesn't stop Deku. His dream is to become the #1 hero, and to protect others from disaster. But that dream is pretty much impossible if he doesn't even have a quirk. That is, until my boy puts his life on the line to save a classmate from a villain who's going on a rampage. And not only is he doing this without powers, he's doing this to save his biggest bully. And I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro's better than me. I wouldn't have done that if I was in his position.
Oh my god!
And this catches the attention of the #1 hero, All Might, who's pretty much Superman. He's got all his powers except that he can't fly, he can't do the heat vision, and of course, no capes.
No capes!
All Might sees Deku's heart and gives Deku a chance to become a hero. All Might gives Deku his own powers. Now, super hype story aside, what does any of this have to do with resilience? Hold up, I'm starting to cook. You have to give it time. We now have Deku, who's gone from being a quirkless chump to having the powers of the strongest hero in the world. Now that he has the one thing that has stopped him from fulfilling his dream, he's ready to get to work. He applies to the same high school All Might went to in order to get the best superhero training he can get. He's ready, except for one thing. The strength of All Might is too much for his body. If Deku were to just go ham and use 100% of his powers, he'd fall apart faster than the Lakers in the playoffs.
Boo this man!
Oh, come at me!
I feed off your hate.
But because our Zero to Hero has resilience, he trains his body to become strong enough to handle the power surging through him. It's not a one-time thing. He keeps going and going like the Energizer Bunny.
They keep going and going.
Stop the bunny, please.
And where does all this working out get him? Well, let's take a look. It got him into the school he wanted to go. He's able to take down villains with way more experience than him. And perhaps most importantly, he begins to live out his dream, protecting others when all hope seems lost. Now, the anime is in its final season right now, so now's the perfect time to get into the action. Just don't engage with the fan base on social media. They're not right, bro. So now that we know where Deku started and where he's at now, let's bring it back to resilience.
One for all, full counting! 100%!
Think about the school year that's right in front of us. I'm sure some of you have goals that you want to accomplish. And if not, get on that, man. It could be getting on honor roll, being a starter for your sports team. It could be anything. And if you have a strong goal, it's gonna be hard to get it on your first try. And if you end up taking L after L, you might end up feeling like your dream is impossible. But this is where resilience comes in. Deku shows exactly how resilience works. You can be resilient like Deku in 3 ways. 1. Block out the negative. Deku heard a lot of people tell him that he can't be a hero. Classmates, doctors, shoot, even his own mom didn't believe he could do it. We may have people who want to tell us what we can and can't do with our lives. Now, if they're trying to stop you from doing something dangerous against the rules or something that could hurt you or others, you should listen to them. But if anyone tells you that you can't have the job that you want or have the grades that you want, then don't listen to them. And it doesn't matter who they are. Focus on your dream and pay more attention to those who are telling you that you can get the job done. Second, you gotta be creative. Deku is a thinker, and even though he can solve a problem by just punching it until it's gone, other times he realized that talking can stop an issue from getting worse, or even other people could be better suited for the job than him. And for us, resilience might look like meeting your goal in a way that's different from when you first planned. You might need a plan B or C before you get it right, and that's okay. And lastly, don't give up. It's simple because it's true. If Deku had listened to his haters and stopped trying to be a hero, he wouldn't have been able to save his friend, All Might would have never shared his power with him, and he would have spent the rest of his life quirkless. But he didn't quit. Even when it was hard, he didn't quit. Even when everyone told him to give up, he didn't quit. And we need to do the same thing. Resilience is not perfection. It's not getting everything right and never failing. Nah, it's failing, falling down in your face and embarrassing yourself, but having the strength to block out the negative, be creative, and not give up. And we saw how it worked out for Deku. Let's see how it's gonna work out for you. Welcome to the Character Corner, and here we're going to take some time at a character trait and see how it works in real life. And for August, we're looking at mentorship. And just what is a mentor, you might be asking? A mentor is a teacher who instructs you about something specific. For example, your football coach could be your mentor in how to be a better player, or a tutor could be your math mentor. Now think about your goal for the year. Who is someone who could be your mentor and help you reach that goal? If it's related to school, a teacher would be a great start. If you take music lessons or dance, your instructor could be that mentor. And if you don't have a goal, find an adult you trust and they can be your mentor to help you figure things out. Because even with all his resilience, Deku still needed All Might to give him direction. And the same is true with us. And a mentor can go a long way in becoming who you want to be. And if you're hungry for more My Hero Academia, I actually have a whole playlist going over some of the members of Class 1A. And since this is YouTube, we gotta feed the algorithm. Like this video, subscribe, share it, do the YouTube thing. And in the comments, let us know what your goal is for this year. And now it's time for you to get back to the classroom. Peace out, GG Nation. Guidance Guy out.